Hi there. I hope you're enjoying the IUP Summer Instructional Design Academy. You've made it quite a few days in, and so congratulations. I hope you're enjoying it and learning a lot. And thanks for choosing to learn a little bit more about the library and how the library can support your online and hybrid course delivery methods. So my name is Carrie Bishop. I'm the distance learning librarian at IUP, and I'm just going to give you a quick few minutes of the main areas of the library that you might want to include in your online or hybrid classes. Of course, there's lots more to learn than I can give you in these couple minutes, but these are the highlights. So always reach out to your subject specialist librarian if you have any questions or are curious about what else we can provide. So you can see here we're at the library main page. Nearly everything that you'll want to use from the library is accessible through the library main website. So the three areas I'm going to cover in this video are how you would provide access to the collection for your students, our collection of books, ebooks, videos, other things, how your students will access a reference librarian to get help and ask questions, and how your students will access instruction in an online or a hybrid environment. Okay, so let's start with the collection. All of our collections are accessible through our discovery search, which is available on the main page. So if you go to the IUP website and search our collections, click search. Nearly everything that the library provides access to will be available through the discovery search. Of course, you can search the catalog independently or any of our electronic databases individually, but the discovery search provides sort of a one-stop shop for that. So you can point your students to the discovery search in your online or hybrid class, or you can link directly to certain articles or books or videos that you would want them to read or watch. And the best way to do that, really, once you have made your selections on the right hand side here, you can do some more searching, you can do some refining, of course. The best thing to do is to always link your students to the permalink. So if we click on the title of this article, what I would suggest is always linking using this link. So if I click there on permalink, I can copy this link to the clipboard, and then I can put it very easily into my D2L course. The reason I'm suggesting this is because you can let the library worry about where the links go, right? If the publisher changes their platform, if the publisher changes where those links live, we will always be keeping an up-to-date link for you through our discovery service through this permalink. And you won't have to worry about making sure that those links are always active if you link to it from the library. This also helps with authentication. So the library system will handle then the authentication of students getting into these books and articles and movies. Okay? All right. So I'm going to close that window. And so that's just a quick preview of how you would enter collections into your online course. The other thing, we're going to go back to the main page. The next thing is reference. So again, I'm going to show you the easiest way for your students to access a librarian when they need help. And it's this link right here, Ask a Librarian. So you might want to copy this link and put it into your D2L course to give your students easy access. The Ask a Librarian link provides information on all of the ways that we offer reference help. So chat, email, they can text us, they can make an appointment, which would be Zoom if they're fully online, or if that's just the most convenient option. It lets them find research guides. So if they're looking for something in the middle of the night, they can use our research guides to figure that out. And we also have a very large collection of library tutorials, which I'll show you in a minute, that may help them answer their question on their own. Also, a pretty good list here of frequently asked questions. Okay, so this one page gives your students lots of ways to get help from a librarian. Okay, so there's reference. And the last thing I want to touch on is instruction. So how do you provide your students with some library instruction, some information literacy instruction when they're in a flexible online or hybrid format? Again, from the library main page, we're going to click on this link under services called library instruction. If you go here under faculty resources, you're going to see our collection or our menu of opportunities or services that we provide for you to incorporate information literacy instruction into your online class. So if you're asking students to find materials and use those materials to develop something else, right? You're asking them to incorporate other information sources to create something new. Then have a librarian involved in that. Even if you think your students should already know how to do that, they probably don't, maybe all of them, and there are always more advanced layers we can add on to their information literacy skills. So get a librarian involved and have a conversation about what your students might need. One of the easiest things to do if you're not sure what you want and you're not sure what you want to offer or provide for your students, just fill out the instruction request form as best you can. A librarian will contact you, will reach out to you, and we can talk it out. We can figure out what would be the best method for providing information literacy instruction in your course. If you work your way through the tabs here on this page, you'll get lots more information of all of the things that we provide. So this is some information on different sessions that we can teach in an information literacy course, just sort of a menu here of different topics that you might choose to cover. When we get to the distance instruction tab, here's where we get into some of the options for you. I did mention our large collection of videos and tutorials. They're available through this link here and also here, this tab at the top. So these resources are videos and tutorials that can be easily linked into D2L to provide your students with some asynchronous library instruction on all kinds of different topics. Some are created by me and they're IUP tool specific or IUP topic specific, and others are created by a company that we use that are just information literacy concepts that are good for everybody. And so you can browse through those, or you could ask for my or another librarian's opinion on what videos would be best to incorporate into your class. We also offer some Zoom instruction. So our library instruction coordinator, Maria Barefoot, offers scheduled Zoom information literacy webinars that you could have your students sign up for. She takes attendance and she can let you know who is in those courses. If you are offering, or if you are assigning a larger research assignment that will require some more intense library and information seeking work from your students, I would suggest embedding a librarian into your D2L course. The benefits of that are that your librarian will completely understand what you're asking of your students and be able to provide them real-time help right within the environment that they're most comfortable in within their D2L course. The librarian is embedded as a librarian. There is a role at D2L called librarian, and that gives the librarian access to the entire course except the gradebook. So the librarian can do things like provide some feedback without giving grades. They can comment on discussion boards. They can lead their own discussion boards. They can add content. They can make announcements. So it's really like having a helper in there to think about just how the library is supporting your students in your assignments. Okay, here's another tab, just more on what that embedded librarian relationship looks like. What will the librarian do? How to request that? And then here's our list of all of those videos, and they're separated into topics over here on the left-hand side. So if we go to evaluating information, you can see that there's videos, tutorials, and quizzes that you can put into your D2L course that talk about different topics such as evaluating sources, what is authority, introduction to bias, etc. Okay, so I hope that gave you a really good overview of how to provide access for your students in an online or hybrid course to collections, reference, and instruction. If you have any questions, please reach out to any of our librarians. Take care and enjoy the rest of the academy.